Hello again. So I have another exercise for you, and this exercise is called contour drawing. Now, contour drawing is a very specific kind of drawing, and it's meant to do a very specific kind of thing, build a very specific kind of skill. It's one of those challenging exercises for many people because with contour drawing, we're not going to look at the paper while we draw. Now I have a little bit of an advantage here because I can actually see my paper in the screen of the camera. I'm going to try not to cheat. So I have this object here now. This is just this wacky sculpture that I made. And I realize you won't have a wacky sculpture necessarily, but what works best for contour drawing is a complex object and an unpredictable object. So it's not something that you can picture in your mind easily. Car keys, certain kinds of vegetables, leaves, complex leaves, things like that are good for contour drawing. Even your hand is really good, but sometimes people, they have trouble with hands. So you need to pick an object that really has some complexity to it. This one has lots. So here's how you do it. You have to set yourself up in advance so that it's hard for you to look at your paper. In other words, if I want to look at my paper, I have to turn myself. And if I've got the object and my paper lined up with each other, it's going to be too tempting for me to look at the paper. It's not that easy for most people not to look at the paper because it's an issue of control. But the point of contour drawing is to really pay attention to what you're drawing. It's very meditative, or it can be. So I'm going to demonstrate this. And first thing I do is I've got my object away from my paper. I'm going to position myself so that I'm perpendicular to the paper. I'm not facing the paper and I'm not facing away from the paper. I'm perpendicular. So that means that I won't strain my arm backwards trying to draw. And then I'm going to simply pick a spot on this crazy sculpture to start. And it doesn't really matter where because the result isn't really the important thing. The important thing is how well can you observe what you're actually drawing. So I'm going to pick a spot and I'm going to start drawing. And this is a slow, steady kind of line. If you have a tendency to make hairy lines, those lines that are made of lots of little lines, I'm going to ask you to really try not to do that here. Just a nice, slow, steady line. A lot of people advocate that you don't pick up your pencil at all while you're drawing this way. I'm probably going to not talk an awful lot while I'm doing this. Again, the right brain is not the language brain, so it kind of shuts off the language brain, the left brain. You may find when you do this exercise that you feel a certain level of perhaps anxiety. That's just, again, the left brain trying to control what you're doing. It likes control. If you find that it's difficult, you can just close your eyes for a moment, take a couple of deep breaths, don't move your hand away from the paper, and then just start again. So the point here is that you're really looking at the object that you're drawing. It's not about getting anything right. It's just about the observation. And there's a particular look to a contour drawing when it's really a contour drawing. I know what they look like. So I'll be looking for that. And it's a little hard to describe it, but really what it is the line has a character to it. It has the character of what it is you were drawing. It's not accurate in the sense that it's distorted, but it is accurate in the sense that you're really looking at what you're drawing, and you're getting the little lumps and bumps and idiosyncratic things about that object. So I'm going to stop there because I could keep going and going, but here's what I got. Now you can see that it doesn't really describe the object all that well because it's a distortion, but it has a quality to it. I hope you can see that. It has the quality of observation. So this is a challenging exercise, but it's incredibly good for developing your ability to see and developing some patience. Again, it's an exercise that is not like any of the other kinds of drawing we do. You want to think of it like something like a sports practice, like jumping through tires or that kind of thing. It's not what you do on the field, but it builds that observational muscle. So I'm going to ask you to do some blind contour drawings for the class. And again, I will know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that quality and that character in the line that comes from the observation of the object. So find yourself something complicated, unpredictable, okay? Something that you can't look at and understand really just by, a quick observation. You have to really pay some attention. Okay, well, I'll see what you produce, and I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you on the virtual classroom.